Hello, I'm Zash, and welcome to my Let's Read of Steins Gate Zero. Joining me, as always, is my co-reader Shadow. If you are new here, the link to the playlist is in the card above. Last time, we saw Kaguri and Suzuha coming to the present for the first time. And I'm still wondering, where is Kaguri? We didn't see her in the original Steins Gate. Also, Okabe almost confessed his feelings for Amadeus, predicting people falling for ChatGPT boyfriends, girlfriends a decade early. Hopefully, there won't be an update that ruins everything. Or maybe that would be for the best? I shuddered. What was I about to say? This was a 3D model on a screen, a tiny collection of zeros and ones in the shape of a human. What was I about to say to her? Oh, there is the epidemic of people falling in love with the generative AI boyfriends, girlfriends thing.
And inevitably there's an update that ruins it.
Yep.
Hey, could I ask you something? We knew each other, didn't we? I mean, you and the original me. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine, but what was our relationship? I'm kind of curious. Did I not get mad when you called me Christina? Or did I get mad, but then laugh and forgive you? I don't want to die.
No! I was hit with a violent urge to throw up. I could see Kurisu in front of me, covered in blood. She was looking at me, her eyes cold.
You killed me. You killed me. You killed me. What's wrong? Hey, you've gone pale.
I touched the smartphone and ended the call. Then I became too dizzy to stand. I tried to throw up, but nothing came out. My hands were shaking. That's right, I can't change reality. But there I was, trying to talk to Kurisu like nothing had happened. I was treating her like the real Kurisu, and trying to avert my eyes from what I'd done. I was just clinging to Kurisu. This was wrong. I shouldn't talk to Kurisu anymore. The call was from Kurisu. I hung up in the middle of the conversation, so she was probably mad. Mad? She was just an AI. Kurisu's anger was just a program. Kurisu wasn't Kurisu. Don't treat them like they're the same. I shouldn't talk to Kurisu anymore. Just the incoming call was almost enough to trigger a flashback. In my mind, I could see an image of Kurisu's bloody face. I should turn off my phone. This was getting bad. I couldn't even stand up. It'd be half a year, and things were still like this. Trauma doesn't go away quickly. Even I was surprised. I resisted the impulse to try to throw up again. Just turn off the phone. I wanted to get away from Kurisu. It wasn't her fault. It was mine. I couldn't become dependent on Amadeus. This wasn't right, and I needed to stop. I was blaspheming Kurisu's memory. She had sacrificed herself to send me to the Beta World Line. I needed to live up to her expectations. I couldn't waste time talking to Kurisu. I needed to accept the fact that I couldn't save her and move on. Cut the power and shut off the call. At least until you meet Dr. Liskinen afterwards. Set Kurisu out of your mind. Don't panic. Calm down. Turn off the phone. What is it?
You know exactly what it is. It's rude to just hang up. Is something wrong?
Nothing.
But you look so pale.
It looks like there's something clearly wrong. It's nothing, really. Leave me alone. It'd help a lot if you wouldn't talk to me for a while.
Don't push yourself too hard. Contact somebody you know, okay? Bye.
Kurisu gave up, easier than I expected.
Probably because you look like you're about to fucking explode.
Maybe she realized that as an artificial intelligence, there was nothing she could do. Realized? I was making her sound like a real person. And the second that thought crossed my mind, I almost saw an image of a bloody hand. I gritted my teeth and waited for it to pass. I should really turn my smartphone off until I calmed down a little. I was fine just a moment ago, but now even hearing Kurisu's voice was enough to send me into a panic. I'd gone back to how I was half a year ago. Back then, even hearing Kurisu's name was enough to make me dizzy. I shouldn't have messed with this. I shouldn't have tried to chase Kurisu's shadow. For now, I should just turn off the smartphone. But in the end, I couldn't make that decision. I gulped down an entire bottle of mineral water and caught my breath. There was still a little time before my meeting. I wanted to get some air up here and recover a little. I looked down over the scenery below the overpass. The city was in the Christmas spirit. The atmosphere was charged with excitement. It was the exact opposite of me. I took more deep breaths. I still felt like I wanted to throw up. I was getting a headache too. If I went to Dr. Liskinen like this, I'm sure I'd worry him. And then I realized that the two girls coming up the stairs were looking at me. I peered into the late afternoon darkness to try and make out their faces. One of them, the girl with the short haircut, waved.
I knew it! It's Ocarina-san!
Hi there.
Oh, you're Mayuri's friends. They were Mayuri's friends and fellow cosplayers. I think their cosplays' names were Kaede and Fubuki. I didn't know the real names. Which was Kaede and which was Fubuki again? He's doing better than I would have.
He's trying. Are you okay? You don't look so good.
I'm fine. If I made them worry here, and they talked to Mayuri, it would cause a big fuss. I didn't want her to worry about me when she didn't have to. I shouldn't have come back to Akihabara anyway. I'd run into people I knew just walking through town. I should have gone toward Kanda when I left the shrine.
You always look like you're hurting somehow, Okabe-san.
Do I?
You do.
Fubuki-chan.
When Mayushi looks at you, she looks like she's in pain too. When I see her looking at you, I feel like I'm going to cry.
What am I saying?
This Fubuki girl must really care about Mayuri. Well, she's gotten to second base, so
Nah.
I felt a little better after hearing that.
Who's the girl you like?
Terrible time to ask that question.
The girl I like? An image of Kurisu appeared in the corner of my eye again. The feeling in my hands when I took her life came back. Calm down.
Okabe-san? I'm sorry, that was rude to ask. Okabe-san? Are you really okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Kaede and Fubuki were looking at me, worried. I got away from them as fast as I could. X-Day Protocol. I want to stop being a tester. When I started the conversation with that, both Dr. Luskinen and Maho looked shocked. We were meeting in a room at a luxury hotel in the heart of Tokyo. It felt like the sort of secret meeting you see in a spy movie. Or maybe it only felt that way because the old me wasn't completely gone.
You can't. It's just irresponsible.
Maho seemed to have finally understood what I meant, and her anger was clear. Maho, calm down. Lintalo is the one helping us with this test. I'm grateful that you took up the offer at all. If you quit here, you're not being irresponsible at all. Don't worry. Dr. Luskinen smiled and offered me his hand. I took hold of his giant hand and shook it back, but I looked down, unable to look him in the eye. I'm sorry. Still, I would have liked it if you could have continued. I took a quick look at the logs, and I see you've been talking to her quite a bit. And the way Kurisu speaks to you is very different from what we hear at the laboratory. Humans are, by nature, social animals. They change their words and actions depending on the situation and who they are speaking with. We can assume that Amadeus is doing the same thing. That's why I wanted you to continue the test a little while longer. By the way, why did you decide to quit? Did talking to Amadeus become painful? No. It's the opposite. The opposite? Talking to Amadeus, to Kurisu, is a lot of fun, but that scares me. And then I desperately tried to explain the feelings that were welling up within me, even though I still didn't understand them myself. I told them how scared I was that I was starting to see Kurisu and Kurisu as the same person. I thought this might put a lot of stress on you. I'm really sorry. But that reaction of yours is very interesting. in the sense that you're interacting with Amadeus from a perspective of someone who isn't a scientist. That's very valuable to me. I hope you'll forgive me for saying that. I'm a scientist to the core, you see. No, I understand that I'm the one being selfish here. Maho hadn't said a word for a while. She was frowning, and she seemed to be intently focused on studying Amadeus's log. I didn't want her looking at me because it made me feel guilty, but... All right, you want to stop being a tester? That's what will happen. But do you mind if we leave the access program on your phone? Huh? From now on, it's up to you whether you want to talk to Amadeus or not. I'll tell Kurisu not to contact you. I don't want our relationship with you to end today. You're the first friend we've made in Japan, and also, Maho would be sad.
Professor!
I understand. It felt like giving in, but at the same time, I didn't want to lose my relationship with Dr. Liskinen. My goal of going to Victor Condia University hadn't changed at all. And then Dr. Liskinen got a call on his smartphone. Oh, excuse me. I have to take this. Maho, make up with Lintalo while I'm gone, okay? Dr. Liskinen left the room with a mischievous wink. I was alone with Maho.
I'm sorry for yelling.
No,
The professor's right. We're the ones asking you for a favor. Amadeus is like a sister to me. More like a child. And it felt like you were throwing her away, so...
I'm sorry I can't help you.
I think I understand how you feel. Or at least, I thought I did. Maybe.
Maho sighed again.
I'm no good, am I? My prefrontal cortex probably came out all screwed up when I was born. That has to be it.
Huh?
The prefrontal cortex is one of the parts of the brain that defines your personality. It also handles information filtering. When there's something you don't want to admit, it cuts out that information, or deceives you as to its meaning. That's why people who get severe brain trauma to the front of the head can change personality entirely.
Yep.
It also affects your inhibitions, which can be a problem.
I don't really understand.
I actually, my grandmother and aunt's brother got in a severe car accident when he was very young. And he was a shitbag of a human being. Like, he legitimately was terrible. And he had zero filter about the shitty things he thought about other people. And it wasn't until she told me that they had to reconstruct the front of his head. So I was like, that might be why he was like that.
Yeah, traumatic brain injury.
That injury when he was just a kid, and then being coddled afterwards, because obviously you almost lost your child.
Yeah.
It's probably why he ended up that way. Which, he wasn't cruel because he was a bad person.
Yeah.
But because he was severely injured.
Yeah.
And she told me after that discussion, like a little while after, that it helped her come to terms with a lot of things that happened when they were kids.
Yeah.
Because it's literally not something he could change.
Yeah. And
no, it's not like you have to suffer their presence, but it's still not his fault that happened to him.
Yeah.
The brain is a weird thing.
Yep. And does recover from damage in weird ways sometimes too.
Oh yeah, like it'll reshape neurons and such.
Yeah.
And I fully believe if he'd been called out
Yeah.
instead of being coddled, that he could have become a better person.
Yeah.
But he never would have been the same as he would have before the accident.
Yeah.
In other words, it tries to hide your emotions, and it tells lies. Not to other people, but to yourself. Like how I'm trying to hide how I feel behind a wall of scientific jargon right now. At least you're self-aware.
Yeah.
I think it's my prefrontal cortex that's doing it.
That would apply just as well to the old me, Oyin Kyoma. When I realized that, there was nothing I could say. I think that's true for everybody.
It's worse for me, probably. No, I wouldn't say so. It's very human.
Yeah, but you get to see how much you're doing it. You can't see how much everyone else is doing it.
Yeah. Just, from now on, whenever you feel like it, talk to Amadeus. It doesn't have to be for long.
I'll think about it.
Thank you.
Maho flopped back onto the sofa. Hey, can I ask you a question? About Kurisu's mom.
Huh?
I happened to hear you and the professor talking about her at the party that one time. You said that something happened at Kurisu's house?
Oh, that.
Maho seemed to remember quickly. She nodded.
We got a call from Kurisu's mom. Someone set her house on fire. Whoa.
What? Was she okay?
She said she was gone that day, so she was alright.
That was a relief.
Trying to get rid of Kurisu's research papers?
Maybe. After all that had happened, I really didn't want Kurisu's mother to have to go through any more. Yeah, like her daughter.
Yeah, like lose your kid and then your house is set on fire?
And
Jesus.
her husband is a traitor to Russia. Like, has defected to Russia.
This lady needs a hug.
Yeah. And like, her husband didn't even take her when he defected, type of thing either.
Yeah.
And they could be after Nakabachi's work too.
Kurisu's mom really seemed to like me. She would invite me over on my off days all the time. Probably just because her daughter had a fucking friend.
Yeah.
The thing about young prodigies is that they're often socially isolated.
Yeah.
Either by their own will or just because no one can connect to them because
they're so
they're
so
talking
smart.
about shit that no one else understands. So I'm worried. I hope she's not caught up in anything weird.
And also, like, they're pressured to work on whatever subject they're a prodigy in it, and not allowed to go play soccer with the other kids, type of thing.
Yeah, but even if they are, like, it can be really difficult to socialize for them.
Yeah.
And again, it can be them. They can do it because they just don't care to talk to other people.
Yeah.
Because their peers are not on their level.
Yeah.
But it can also be from the other side.
Yeah. But sometimes they can find a different subject that they have a peer group that is their age, type thing.
I think it's but I imagine for a mom who's been trying to keep her kid's life at least somewhat normal, it'd be nice for her to have a friend.
Yeah, especially with a dad like Nakabachi.
Yeah.
Because he did not help.
Absolutely not. I know Kurisu was getting her ass ridden by that man.
Yeah. And as soon as she beat him, he could not handle that.
Well, we know that. I'm really hoping her mom does not know that.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope her mom thinks it was just some random stabbing.
Yeah.
That's a lot easier for her to swallow.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, like, even when she was at home, as soon as Kurisu equaled or beat him at his own game, he would have been really nasty.
Well, he was. He stole her research and murdered her.
Yeah, but I'm saying at home he would have been...
I know it was showing beforehand.
Yeah. Weird. I noticed the way she said the phrase. A cold chill ran down my back. It wasn't just an arson case?
Don't ask silly questions you know the answers to. You know damn well that wasn't just an arson case.
Well, he hasn't seen the Nakabachi thing yet either. I don't think. Because that came after the D-mail video.
Well?
Maho seemed unsure if she should tell me. Hyajo-san. I urged her to speak. She nodded slightly.
Well, at first the local police investigated. But after that, some people saying they were with the FBI came. And why the fuck would they be there?
The FBI?
Yeah, this wasn't a case the FBI would usually be involved in.
Unless they thought the criminals had escaped over state lines.
Oh no, I'm stupid. Of course, they live in America. Yes, okay. I was like, why the fuck are the FBI in Japan? They're not. I'm done. And supposedly, a neighbor saw the arson. From what she said, they didn't look like your ordinary arsonists.
Okay, what does an ordinary arsonist look like?
I was about to say, what does that mean?
What do you mean?
There was more than one. She said they looked like some kind of special forces unit. They barely said a word, and once the fire started, they got right into the car and left.
Okay, fair. That is not what I...
Wait, that is weird.
Yes, that does not look like what I would expect an arsonist to look like. Like, I don't know what an ordinary arsonist would look like, but that is not it.
Well, arsonists are usually...
Yeah, like...
either people trying to hurt
yeah.
the inhabitants, or like...
they like the fire.
House insurance.
Yeah.
Fraud, or pyromaniacs. Generally, they look like just normal people. I don't know if this is the right word, but they looked really good at their job. They knew what the fuck they were doing. And they said the fire spread really fast. Yeah, they really knew what they were doing.
Was she trying to say that it was no ordinary arson, but the work of professionals?
Because it's actually harder to set a house on fire than you think. You can't just throw a rag on the floor.
It's almost like houses were designed not to burn down at the drop of a house or something, or drop of a hat or something.
Yeah, like it takes some severe issues for it to actually engulf a house. So for it to spread that quickly, they knew what they were doing.
I couldn't laugh away the possibility. I knew for a fact there were people like that in this world.
And? The neighbor said they were speaking Russian.
Okay, that's a big red flag.
How do they know it was Russian?
Russian? Could be any Eastern European language that sounds like Russian.
That's what I mean. Like, Slavic languages can often sound the same. So how does someone know specifically it was Russian?
Well, they probably heard a Slavic language and assumed Russian.
That's fair.
Or who knows? Maybe the neighbor was from a Slavic background too.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm just curious.
Yeah. The first thing that came to my mind, whether I liked it or not, was Nakabachi. Half a year ago, he'd stolen a paper about time travel from Kurisu, his own daughter, and used it to seek asylum in Russia. Okay, so he did know that happened.
Yeah, he did. He found that out.
Yeah.
During the trying to save her thing.
Yeah, but I couldn't remember if the message to turn on the TV came through or not. So he saw Nakabachi selling out to the Russians or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe he discovered it later.
I am not sure. Yeah. I don't think we're meant to question too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
When exactly things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be me misremembering too.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. Could that have something to do with it?
And there's one more thing. Right after Kurisu's death, something weird happened at the lab. Someone who said they were a Japanese detective visited us with some of the local police. They said it was a joint US-Japan investigation into Kurisu's death. Okay. Of course, we helped as much as we could, but they would have to suspect some serious foul play to be coming into Japan.
Yeah. Well, no, I think Japan went to the US because she died in Japan.
Yeah, either way.
So...
It takes some serious foul play for the other side to start actually investigating as well.
Yeah.
Because the assumption, of course, is that it's contained in the country that it happened in.
Yeah.
But if it's coming to the lab, that's...
Yeah, but, like, the person who killed her literally disappeared into thin air.
Yeah.
So they're grasping at straws.
It still would take... Like, there's a lot of red tape involved to contact other countries to make an international case.
Yeah, but I don't know how fast Interpol would get on that, or...
Like, I don't know the foggies.
Yeah.
I just know that's a complicated process, and they wouldn't do it unless they had some serious suspicions.
Yeah. Well, they might, like, they might be able to ask questions. Like, they're not arresting anyone, they're just coming over to, like, they're not arresting people or detaining people. Probably the detective came over and needed the local police to translate. Yeah,
well, you can usually find translators.
Yeah, but you need like the police translator would be like special, like they have special like clearances to not discuss it type of thing.
Yeah.
So at least the Japanese would be worried about something like that. The US less so, but still the Japanese would ask for a translator who is being properly NDA'd and all that.
Yeah. A few days later, the university asked the police.
Oh, okay. Well, they They skipped the red tape.
And they said that no such detective had come from Japan.
So the Japanese detective was a fake?
That's not all. The local police said they'd never searched our lab.
Well, this would explain why they didn't have to worry about all the red tape.
In other words, not only was the detective a fake, but everyone who came and said they were with the police
were also fakes?
After that,
Maho shook a little and wrapped her arms around herself.
I started to wonder if there was something else going on with Kurisu's death. I'm not really a conspiracy theorist, but it's hard not to...
Yeah, it's not paranoia if they're actually out to get you.
I think that maybe Kurisu was killed for some other reason. Or whatever that reason was, it's been covered up.
I was the one who killed Kurisu. So thanks, Russia, for covering up the murder. No, the police never found out. Well, he also does have a rock-solid alibi. Like, he has at least 2 other people who can corroborate his location when the murder occurred.
Yeah.
They never would, probably. No one could prove a murder that had been committed by a time traveler. Yeah, the police would have to prove time travel existed. That's not happening. The police had announced that a foreign thief had snuck into the storeroom at Radicon, and Kurisu had been killed because she saw him. Supposedly, there was an international warrant out for the thief's arrest, because he had already left the country. I wonder if this thief, like if the person the warrant's out for even exists. And when I killed Kurisu, there was one other person there, Dr. Nakabachi. It was eerie that his name hadn't come up at all. Russia, CERN, the time machine. I remember remembered the future that Suzuha, or perhaps I should say John Titor, had spoken of. She'd said World War III was going to start within a decade, and it would be the time machine that set it off. The EU and Russia would be in a race to develop it, and then even America would intervene. That would be the spark. Were we at the center of a chain of events that would result in the deaths of over 5 billion people? I couldn't help but feel that way.
Kurisu won't be able to rest in peace like this. I want to know the truth.
The truth? Insert "you can't handle the truth" meme. I couldn't stop myself from shaking as I looked at Maho's face. You want to know the truth? That was dangerous. If she tried to learn the truth, there could be no doubt that she'd put herself in danger. The Rounders, who came crashing through the veil of night. My childhood friend, who died in my arms after being shot in the head. Pretty little headshot, because a headshot would not be that clean. And after that, the nightmarish and seemingly endless time loops. All the horrors that I'd experienced in the Alpha World line came flooding back, and I fought to stifle a moan. But that's something you should leave to the police.
Do you really think so?
If nothing else, you shouldn't think you can do something about it yourself. There's just so little that one person can do. After I said that, I regretted it, but it was too late. Maho's gaze had turned into a piercing glare.
Do you know something about what happened?
My panic was about to show. I quickly covered my face with my hands. That's impossible, right?
Yeah. Sorry for being weird. Whenever Kurisu gets involved, I just can't help myself. I really liked her.
She was a really good girl, and an amazing one. I liked her too.
Yeah, I can tell by watching you.
A heavy silence filled the air between us. I felt like I had to say something, but fortunately, Dr. Liskinen came back just then.
How about some dinner, you two?
Maho and I nodded and stood up from the sofa.
Okabe-san, will you tell me more about what Kurisu was like when she was here sometime?
Yeah, whenever you like. I was just barely able to smile back at Maho. I saw a dark blue van come around the corner of the underground parking lot. Its tires squealed a little. It wasn't a Japanese car. It was a station wagon that looked like a sports car from some foreign manufacturer. I didn't know a lot about cars, but supposedly if you purchased it from a dealer, it would easily go for over 8 million yen, $80,000.
That's a lot of money.
That's an expensive car.
There.
The reason I knew all this was because the car's owner had told me over and over. The station wagon stopped in front of us, and there was a short bark from the horn. Associate Professor Izaki came out from the driver's side. I don't think professors make that much money. This is a bit sus. While I was eating with Dr. Liskinen and Maho, he had called about something else. When I told him I was having dinner with the two of them, he offered to drive us home. Dr. Liskinen had tried to refuse, but Izaki had insisted so much that he had no choice but to accept. He had a pretty nice car for an associate professor. This was the cause of a lot of speculation around the college. Some people said his family was rich, and others that he had the wife of some CEO as a patron. Well, that's possible.
Yeah.
He once quietly told me the truth, that he was single and spent all of his money on his car. But who even knew if that was true? I guess that's fair, like, single income, no kids.
Yeah. Well, dating just in general is like very expensive.
Yeah,
Like even if you're not married.
yeah. Izaki was acting like he was a professional chauffeur, opening the rear door and escorting Dr. Liskinen and Maho. Yeah, apparently in Japan, the taxi drivers open the door for you. Like, they'll get out of the car and open the door.
We do have, because we use a taxi service, and one of the guys consistently will get out and open the doors for us. And we always give him a massive tip because that's so unusual.
Yeah, no, in Japan, it is the rule, not the exception.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's so unusual here that I'm always shocked.
Yeah.
And like I had to teach myself not to go, no, you don't have to do that because that's more rude than just letting him do it.
Yeah. In Japan, taxi drivers will drive off if you try to open the door for yourself instead of letting them do it.
That's wild. I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah. Dr. Liskinen thanked him and got inside. Maho went around to the back to load up her luggage. Not bad, Okabe-kun. Looks like you've won over Dr. Liskinen. He grinned and poked me with his elbow.
Sir.
Know what I mean? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more. You better not lose this connection, you know? For your future's sake. Right. He was a hard guy to hate, but for an associate professor, he seemed kind of shallow. It was one of the unfortunate things about him. He waved to me and opened the driver's side door.
Perhaps separating yourself from Amadeus is your best option here. It is distracting you from your true goal. This Kurisu is but a pale imitation of the real one. But it is wise not to sever your connection completely. It could be of use to you as well. Even if it is a pale imitation, it is still intelligent and could help you in the future.